called. I said, yo, let's go to a dirty motel and get nasty. She said, let's do it. That wasn't even the Hyatt. This is shit you can't take your socks off. This the shit where you gotta take the comforter off because you can't trust the comforter.
Now let me ask you: if you can't trust the comforter, how can you trust the sheets?
You take a chance, man. Yo, I'm still out here living lawless, Beth. I'm just saying, man.
Oh,
Just
man,
tell me,
that's
man.
crazy.
Yo,
What do you think, Stat? If you can't trust the comforter, can you trust the sheets? You can't?
see, y'all want to spice your life up.
No, I don't want to spice my life up like that. Like, I've actually complained. Like, when you see certain things, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Some things you're just not doing anymore.
Yeah, then your hair, your top of your head be itching and all that.
No, it's not even that. You just never know. Like, I'm okay. You talk about spice your life. I don't want to live on the edge.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Because I act like the way y'all acted with Sid.
To the Lakers. So LeBron is actually facing heat because he said nobody wants to be in Memphis, and he says they should actually move to Nashville. So on a show, he was asked about traveling in the NBA, and he said, oh, pardon my curse words because he said a lot here. He said, a random fucking Tuesday in Milwaukee, staying at the fucking Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that shit? Being in Memphis on a fucking random ass Thursday? I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. We're all like, you guys have to move. Go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too? So he basically stood on what he said because he was facing a lot of backlash, especially from the people who live in the city of Memphis. But Mace, do you think he's being overly scrutinized, or do you think, he might have overstepped a little bit, even if that's what he felt?
I mean, with the news in the last couple of years, Memphis has gotten a very bad reputation from the artists that have been killed there. People get killed everywhere, and not making light of that, but just the history, just the recent history, not Elvis. We're not talking about all the way back then. We're talking about in the last 5 to 7 years. It's been crazy in Memphis. I mean, you've seen, I think even a NBA player got killed in Memphis. Then Tennessee altogether has been kind of crazy. I wouldn't just say Memphis, but if we're talking about Memphis, they have a very bad reputation right now, and you don't even want to add hip hop to it. It's just crazy right now. And if this is the city and this is where the stars are doing, you can only imagine what the regular life is like, because you're getting this from A-list celebrities. You're getting A-list celebrities walking around with the fire, promoting the fire. So it's crazy in Memphis right now. And sometimes it's entertaining for people to watch, but somebody got to tell them they're televising your demise.
He also said a random Tuesday in Milwaukee. What do you and the people of Milwaukee have to say that?
Ron, chill out. But this is what happens, right? You grow up in Akron, Ohio. You move to LA. You start thinking you from LA. You think you from Miami, and then all of a sudden somebody say, hey, you from the Midwest as well.
Nigga don't like the Hyatt. Ron gets some money. Nigga said a random. He said a random Tuesday in the Hyatt.
Yes.
Nigga
Did
don't
you stay in the Hyatt?
Staying at fucking Hyatt at 41 years old. I think I want to do that shit.
I stayed in it last time I stayed in the Hyatt, man. I think I was about 21, 22.
Because
The Hyatt is like, what, a motel?
No, the Hyatt is not a motel. It's a regular hotel. But there's no Four Seasons in Memphis. Like, where are you going to stay?
Hey, Larry, that's when you really uppity. You say, the Hyatt is a motel. Is that a motel?
Yeah. See me,
it's a slot off. That's what it is.
I still do the 40 for 3 hours. It's 40. I'm still at the Capri Inn. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, damn, high is a slide off, damn. Yo, you hear that, Sin? We can't do the Capri and $40 for 3 hours no more.
See, Bron is thinking like he's speaking for people that's like married. You can't bring your wife and your children in the Hyatt. You just can't do that.
There's people who bring their wife and children in the Hyatt, though, murder.
I know. I'm saying at that level, like you're not gonna see Grant Hill and Tamia in the Hyatt or like. Right, I'm just saying it's levels. It's levels.
No, I dig that.
But so a person like LeBron, the Hyatt is like a slide off. I'm not saying it's a slide off hotel, but to somebody like LeBron, that's not that he would slide off, but that's like a slide off hotel. You get what I'm saying, Larry? Yeah. For that level, like Tom Cruise, he wouldn't be at the Hyatt. He might. I can't say, you know. I gotta watch my words. Niggas try to watch my words.
See, that's why. That's why. I, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Each his own. Cause
I told you I was eating breakfast and I walked past Savannah James and her friends was looking at me. So I gotta watch my words, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, I understand where you're coming from and where LeBron's coming from, actually. But I got this happened about maybe a year ago now. She's a nice female. She got a nice job, making about $160 a year, real decent job. And I called, I said, yo, let's go to the dirty motel and get nasty. She said, let's do it. That wasn't even the Hyatt. This is the shit you can't take your socks off. This the shit where you gotta take the comforter off because you can't trust the comforter.
Now let me ask you, if you can't trust the comforter, how can you trust the sheets?
You take a chance, man. Yo, I'm still out here living lawless, Beth. I'm just saying, man.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Stat? If you can't trust the comforter, can you trust the sheets? You can't?
See, y'all want y'all spice your life up.
No, I don't want to spice my life up like that. Like, I've actually complained. Like, when you see certain things, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Some things you're just not doing anymore.
Yeah, then your hair, your top of your head be itching and all that.
No, it's not even that. You just never know. Like, I'm okay. You talk about spice your life. I don't want to live on the edge.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Because I act like the way y'all acting with Sid. And he I'm bougie. We're 04 killer at. Bring 04 killer back. I don't want this new nigga. He called me Love Jones, all type of shit, man. So once in a while, I just backtrack.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, Memphis is tough, man.
Yeah, anything with an N on the end of it is dangerous.
Yeah, Memphis is really tough, man. Shout out to Pebbles, man. She just came home a little while ago. What up, Peb? I ain't see Pebs in a little minute. But to say, I don't think this is my opinion, right? I understand where LeBron's coming from and why he would say it, but to me, just me, I wouldn't say it out loud. Because it's like this, right? And he's right. It's been other players who said this. He's not the first person to say it. But he's, whether he likes it or not, he's the face of the NBA, one of the faces of the NBA. And what he says carries a lot of weight. And he may not give a fuck. He like, man, whatever, killer. Fuck you talking about? You go spend the night in Memphis. Because I'm not. You know, I've been asked to be, and I'm being honest, I'm not even being funny. It's been times I've done shows in Memphis, not recently, but I've been asked to go to Memphis recently, and I haven't because I just don't know what's going on in the city. I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you take basketball away from Memphis, imagine how bad it would be without a team. At least a team gives you some entertainment 41 nights out the week. At least you could say, I got John Moran. At least you could say, yo, we got Zach Randolph. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's something to look forward to. If you take that away, and I get it, bro, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying the city wouldn't have nothing else to look forward to. It is bad. Nigga, the phrase "it's hard out here for a pimp" is from over there, man. They got a song about it, my nigga. It's bad. We just watched a organized kidnapping when niggas drove from Memphis to Dallas.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You could get killed in front of the arena.
Yeah, listen. Yo, bro.
We got to get out of there.
Bro, what I'm saying is niggas drove from Memphis to Dallas with a contract that was already ready. And not just that. Parents were there. Like the parents was in on it. Like it was adults and parents and grandparents in there, bro. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? And I always bring, I'm not making fun of this, but I was saying that because I'll be like, you know, a lot of times I pick and choose what I eat too. Cause I'm like, people die over food. Like, you know, where's P&B Rock, God bless the dead, died over food. And I always say, yo, damn, Young Dolph just was trying to get some cookies. You know what I'm saying? You can't even go get cookies. It's bad in Memphis. So, like I said,
I think it's just life is cheap in Memphis.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's a bad city. But I get where LeBron is coming from. I could say it, but you know, I'm the face of it is what it is. Talking with you, the face of the whole NBA. People in Memphis are taking the wrong way because I think if you take the team from Memphis,
it gets crazy.
It gets crazy, bro.
If you think this is crazy, it just get crazy. Remember, there was, I think it was somewhere in Tennessee. I'm not sure if it was Memphis, but Lorenz Wright, you know, got killed, an NBA player. So it's by his wife, and it started in Memphis. So anything can happen in Memphis. It don't matter if you're on the team or off the team. And that's why people tell people like Ja Morant, you know, chill out and try to go in a different direction. Because in Memphis, anything can happen. Yeah. Celebrity or not.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all know I'm a positive person. So before we go to break, what is a city that y'all feel like is underrated that maybe a lot of people don't go to that you were actually like, dang, I didn't even have this expectation, but you know, this is a tough city?
So you're doing more negative, but you're positive?
This is positive. Like a lot of people, because a lot of people agreed with him, and a lot of people in Memphis was like, no, this city, you know, because they're going to rep their city. But what's the city that you went to, you didn't really know, and then you're like, oh, this city's lit.
Oh, good. In a good way. For me, it was Phoenix, Scottsdale. That was a place I never would have thought to go. One time I went there and I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. And San Diego was another place that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
I think both those cities that May said is nice. If you're looking at landscape and everything else, you talking about the chicks. Nasty. It depends on what you're talking about, Stat.
See, again, you like to spice things up. You have a different criteria.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because you narrow it down to what's lit. Well,
I'll give you 3. Okay, we'll do landscape and aura.
Okay.
2, women. You were like, dang, they bad.
Okay.
3, let's do like relaxing.
Okay. I like that. For relaxing, let's go relax. I think Mace is correct. Scottsdale is really good. I like Scottsdale. It gets hot there. It's fucking burning. It's a little hotter than Nevada, actually. I've had some glasses on the dashboard and they melted in the dashboard, like when I left them in the car. But it's you're not gonna bump into a lot of niggas. And if you do, they gonna be mad they bumped into you too. You know what I'm saying? so yeah, this nigga, they'll be more mad because most time it's athletes or old niggas, fucking rappers out here now and all that shit.
Yeah, you thought you got away.
Yeah, they thought they mad, they see me. I like that. So that's that. Then when you got women, it's a lot of underrated cities, man. I can't name one city, but one city that I will name is that I would say Detroit. And I haven't been there in a long time because of the no-fly zone. I don't know the rules of the no-fly zone.
You think Detroit is underrated?
As far as women?
I don't think when it comes to women, they're underrated.
No, well, that's a great point. It's just I haven't been to see them in a while. Maybe that's a good point, Mace, because listen, there's a lot of, Seattle is great. A lot of Midwest states too, Indianapolis. Like I said, I think we had this before. I didn't say Detroit, I actually said Minneapolis because it's so cold there, there's a lot of beautiful women there. And to me, landscape, a city that's underrated, it's not in America, but it's still in North America, is Vancouver. Vancouver is a very beautiful city, man. It has the worst skid row I've ever seen. It's 4 or 5 blocks of badness where bums attack you, everything. You like, if you stay away from them 4 blocks, the landscape, the vision, like Vancouver is a very, 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 very pretty city as far as landscape is concerned.
See, dope answers. I'm going to give my 2 cents and I'm going to say Utah, because growing up on the East Coast, there's a lot of states over here that I am not going to lie. And you don't know till you travel. I thought they were going to be racist. I thought that we weren't going to be welcomed. I was just like, those are just states you don't go to. And I had a ball. Like,
in Utah?
Yes.
Utah,
You was skiing?
Utah.
No, I was just hanging out. It's always like basically snow season.
When
Like 2 weeks ago.
wasn't we? Yeah, like,
Well, we always end up in the
crazy.
same
Stop.
places at different times, because he was like,
Utah
you want to go
got
to
a
the
Waffle
fake snow
House.
place.
you said
I
that
did not know that.
You said you was going snowing in the mountains.
I did.
When-
Over here 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, for what?
just for fun.
Yeah. Fam, we was up in the mountains snowmobiling. We was in some clouds. It was crazy, man. But
Nice.
don't blow it, because I was
Keep
like,
going. I spent all that stuff.
because you
but
know what happened? I was around some real white people, and they was like, yeah, they wanted to say nigga out. I know they wanted to. They looked at me and said, it's too congested. And I was like,
like, I know what that means. Got it.
they wanted to say it's too many. Actually, let's bleep that out, Nick. Let's keep this under wraps for we get back to. When we get back over to the wall, we see 92 niggas there.
You
next
remember I
season.
called you black people.
Yeah, yo, Mace, the nigga, yo, fam, they got some shit.
He looking lit.
Yeah.
I said, this is too much money to be around black people. I gotta go.
Did we see any black? I don't think we saw any
We
black.
see one black
yeah.
nigga, maybe one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Going to Albuquerque.
listen.
It's fire.
You ever been to Albuquerque?
I'm making my way. I want to go to Wyoming next. Like, I have to go to these little places over here. Like, I just never.
Just to chime in real quick
Yeah.
for you and everybody else. Utah, like you said, I used to have that perception too years ago. I'm talking about. But Utah is very white, but it's one of the non-racist states that you could go
Yes.
to. Like if you black, they're gonna treat you even better. Like,
Yes.
oh look at them, come on, like it's.
No, yes, exactly. They're just catering to you.
They cater to you. Yeah. Yo,
Look at him.
Look here.
Look at him.
Your rich friend lives in Utah. Your rich friend lives in Utah.
Who's that?
Tommy.
Oh yeah.
Kim got rich friends in Utah.
Yo, fam,
Is he
me and
white?
Larry, we got doing some land out there, and because a lot, shout out to the Mormons as well out
Yes.
there, and it's a lot of Hawaiian people out there. But we're driving, and it's actually Larry's friend that introduced me to it. He's driving, he's like, yeah, that's my mountain right there. I'm like, yeah, mountain? He said, yeah, I own that mountain. Then he tells yo, you want some water? So yeah, give me water. He said, yeah, it's the water from my mountain that we make. And I'm like, yo, hold on, you making water? He's like, yeah, I own that mountain too. Fam, shout out to Tommy, man.
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy got a lot of land out there. Big shout out to Tommy. But Utah is a very non-racist state, even though it's a majority white. But why you think that's what I said? That's why AJ from BYU don't want to leave college. If Utah don't want to get that, he is
You should
probably.
ask for a mountain next semester. That's what I would do. Now that you put us up on game, AJ asked for a mountain. They want you to stay there. Say, I need a whole mountain.
Fam, I asked him, I said, how much you pay for it? He said, I bought it in the 80s, like $12. How much now?
Wow.
Like, Cam, you don't ask. He had to, don't even ask because you can't afford it. And I'm not selling it even if you want to ask.
That'd be crazy, AJ Mountain.
Yeah.
That's lit.
But that's why I think he really don't want, that's why they pumping, he's not leaving school. He's staying because if Utah don't want to leave get that #1 pick, bro, I'm just telling you, he's probably treated so good in Utah and can get anything and be like, yo, I'm a full-fledged nigga. And like you said, Murder, that nigga have about 17 mountains on water, all type of shit. So I really believe if Utah don't get the #1 pick, Go back to BYU, nigga, because they treated me as Stat the way they treat me,
I get
Stat
it.
and Larry.
I get it.
They treated me, Stat and Larry, like the way they treat us. They probably treating that nigga
Royalty.
Turkey out of Sheik.
Royalty,
Them niggas.
yes.
You had the donuts walking around in
Yes.
the mouth.
Yeah. Nigga mother said, we are not playing for nobody else. Get your degree. We go. That's what.
LeBron James has been in the NBA for more than 20 years. And over that span, he has learned exactly how powerful even his smallest comments can become. Anything he says on a podcast, during a press conference, or even while joking around can be clipped, posted online, and transformed into a headline almost instantly. So when he sat down for an appearance on the YouTube show Bob Does Sports in early April, viewers probably expected the usual mix of golf, basketball conversations, and plenty of comedy. Instead, the appearance sparked a controversy that quickly turned into one of the most talked about moments surrounding his career. And the crazy part is, it was not about his play, his son, or the legacy he has spent decades creating. It was about a city, Memphis, Tennessee. The conversation eventually moved towards something virtually every NBA player understands, yet very few athletes openly describe in this much detail: the constant fatigue created by life on the road. 82 games, back-to-backs, late-night flights, and hotel rooms that eventually begin blending together. LeBron, 41 years old and still grinding through another NBA season, was asked what that lifestyle actually feels like when the cameras are gone. And instead of giving a polished answer, he kept it real. He described arriving in a city on an ordinary weekday, checking into what he called another Hyatt, and immediately switching his mind toward the next night's game without having much opportunity to enjoy the place he had just reached. He brought up Milwaukee first, explaining what a typical Tuesday arrival can look like. You're tired, you're sore, and you're sitting in a hotel room that feels almost exactly like the last 20 rooms you stayed in. Then Memphis entered the conversation, and that is when the entire situation took a completely different turn. LeBron said that traveling to Memphis for a random Thursday game is hardly something sitting at the top of his list of season highlights, and he made it clear that he believes plenty of other NBA players share that opinion. According to his explanation, players have talked privately about the city for years, with some apparently even questioning whether the Grizzlies should eventually be somewhere else. The destination he brought up was Nashville. He noted that Nashville already has Vanderbilt University, it has a strong NASCAR presence, it has major sports facilities and an NHL team as well. From LeBron's perspective, the city already possesses several of the building blocks required to become a serious sports market. He argued that the Grizzlies could potentially find even greater success there than they have experienced in Memphis. And if you've watched the internet for more than 5 minutes, you already know what happened next. Clips of the interview began spreading everywhere within hours. Sports programs picked up the story almost immediately, and the response was anything but mixed. The overwhelming reaction was negative, particularly from people who actually live in Memphis. To many Memphians, this was not just another athlete giving his opinion about an NBA city. It felt like one of the most recognizable athletes on earth casually criticizing their home, their culture, and their community while sitting on another person's podcast with virtually nothing personal on the line. One of the most unexpected and viral reactions did not come from an ex-player, television analyst, or NBA coach. It came from 2 kids. A Memphis television news station approached 2 young Grizzly supporters over the weekend and asked them how they felt about LeBron's remarks, and their answers quickly spread across social media. One of the children bluntly said that hearing those comments made it difficult for him to respect LeBron anymore, and insisted that Memphis should not be treated with that kind of disrespect. The second young fan, wearing a Grizzlies jersey, basically fired back that LeBron's best years were already behind him and suggested that maybe it was time for the superstar to think about retirement. It was absolutely ruthless. On one hand, the response was hilarious, but on the other, it revealed just how personal this issue had become for people throughout Memphis. This was bigger than basketball fans getting heated over a trade rumor or a bad game. It touched hometown identity, local pride, and the frustration of seeing a massive sports celebrity take what many residents viewed as unnecessary shots at a city that has already faced plenty of criticism over the years. And those two kids were definitely not the final voices to push back. Terrell Owens, the Hall of Fame receiver who played his college football in Tennessee, also stepped into the debate and made his position clear. He argued that LeBron may simply not worry about how his statements impact regular people, and suggested that having such a massive platform allows him to say whatever he wants without facing meaningful consequences. NBA coaches also started weighing in. The Grizzlies' head coach, along with an opposing coach who previously served as an assistant in Memphis, both challenged LeBron's comments while standing up for the city and the organization. And before long, the debate expanded well beyond the basketball world. The president and CEO of the Greater Memphis Chamber publicly addressed the controversy and pushed back hard against similar remarks previously made by a major ESPN personality regarding Nashville potentially receiving an NBA team through expansion. The frustration coming out of Memphis was clearly connected to something much bigger than one podcast appearance. It reflected years of outside speculation about whether the city should even continue having an NBA franchise. That is why LeBron's comments hit such a sensitive nerve, because they poured even more fuel onto an argument that was already burning. But this is where the story takes another interesting turn. LeBron was absolutely not the first person to bring up the possibility, not remotely. In 2023, a former NBA player raised essentially the same idea. The possibility of the Grizzlies eventually relocating to Nashville had already been discussed during a podcast appearance by someone who now actually coaches on LeBron's Lakers staff. Those remarks generated enough backlash that the podcast host eventually felt the need to issue a public apology. Then, just weeks before LeBron made his appearance, a Golden State Warriors forward offered a remarkably similar opinion on his own podcast, once again bringing up the idea of moving the franchise. So when LeBron insisted that he was not the first person around the league to have this conversation, he was, technically speaking, correct. Clearly, this has been something NBA players have discussed privately for quite a while. LeBron simply happened to be the superstar who said it publicly, with enough fame and influence behind his words to push the conversation directly into the national spotlight. And that additional context is important because it changes the story slightly. This was not an isolated insult that suddenly appeared from nowhere. It was more like the visible peak of an argument that had been quietly building underneath the surface. But LeBron carries a level of global recognition that very few athletes, regardless of sport, can even approach, which meant his comments were always going to hit differently. If an average NBA player makes the same statement on a podcast, it might barely generate a reaction. But when one of the most famous basketball players on the planet says it, the story can become national news before most people have even finished watching the clip. Memphis leadership obviously recognized how quickly this situation was growing, because Mayor Paul Young was certainly not going to sit quietly and let the moment pass. On social media, he decided to address the controversy head-on, but instead of matching the anger coming from Memphis, he took a noticeably different route. He invited LeBron to actually visit Memphis, spend some time experiencing the city's culture for himself, and see firsthand what the mayor described as legitimate investment opportunities developing throughout the area. It was a calculated move that turned what could have become another ugly social media battle into a chance to showcase Memphis rather than simply argue about it online. As of the most recent reports, though, there is still no confirmation that LeBron accepted the invitation or intends to take the mayor up on it anytime soon. Meanwhile, LeBron was not exactly backing away from what he originally said. Only a few days after the interview became public, reporters approached him about the backlash, giving him an opportunity to explain himself. And in classic LeBron fashion, he did not suddenly reverse course or try to make his comments sound softer than they were. He plainly said that at 41 years old, there were only 2 NBA cities he currently did not particularly enjoy playing in, and he named them, Milwaukee and Memphis. He even brought up his hometown of Akron, Ohio, admitting that going back there is not necessarily something he always gets excited about either. His larger message was essentially that people needed to relax and focus their attention on things that actually affect their own lives, rather than getting worked up over one player's honest opinion about exhausting road trips and repetitive hotel stays. LeBron also emphasized that his criticism was never directed toward Memphis residents themselves, but more toward things like the hotel chain the team typically uses when it travels there. Then, just when it seemed like the controversy might finally be cooling down, LeBron added another twist several days later by naming a third city. This time, that city was Cleveland, the very same place where he became a basketball icon, the same city where he delivered a championship that remains one of the most unforgettable sports achievements in Cleveland history. Yet even Cleveland was not exempt from his complaints about the brutal demands of NBA travel. And at that point, the conversation started shifting away from Memphis alone and towards something much more revealing. LeBron openly describing just how physically and mentally exhausting an NBA season can become when you're nearing 42 and still expected to perform at an elite level almost every single night in city after city, season after season. Not everyone across the sports media landscape was interested in making LeBron the villain either. Former NFL star and ESPN personality Ryan Clark used his own podcast to offer a very different interpretation of what was happening. Clark's argument was that LeBron should not automatically be treated as the bad guy simply because he voiced an opinion that plenty of professional athletes have expressed in one form or another. From Clark's perspective, much of the outrage was less about LeBron's actual words and more about the way those words were packaged by media outlets looking for a headline capable of going viral. Instead of placing the entire burden on LeBron for stating his personal preferences, Clark suggested that Memphis might be better served by asking why similar complaints and concerns continue coming from players, coaches, and people around the league. In Clark's view, the deeper problem was not necessarily that LeBron personally dislikes Memphis or intended to insult the city. It was the possibility that a franchise could eventually be pressured into moving because a relatively small number of superstar players would prefer a larger or more glamorous market. But plenty of fans and commentators were not buying that explanation. Critics argued that this went beyond LeBron simply admitting he hates a certain hotel or finds road trips exhausting. They pointed out that he also entertained the idea of moving an NBA franchise away from an entire city and putting it somewhere else. And that kind of suggestion could have consequences for far more people than the athletes actually playing the games, including longtime fans, arena employees, restaurants, businesses, and countless others whose income is connected to the team and its game day traffic. To those critics, that distinction is huge because complaining about personal travel fatigue is one thing, while suggesting a franchise could leave town is an entirely different level of conversation. One is an individual expressing frustration. The other involves an idea that could potentially alter the identity, economy, and future of an entire community if ownership or the league ever decided to seriously pursue it. There's another piece of the Memphis story that cannot be ignored because it helps explain why LeBron's comments struck such a sensitive nerve with so many residents. In recent years, Memphis has repeatedly found itself connected to difficult national headlines involving public safety issues and other major incidents that received widespread attention. Fair or unfair, that reputation has followed the city and its NBA franchise for quite some time, which makes Memphis an easy subject whenever athletes or media figures start listing cities they would rather avoid. For many locals, LeBron's comments felt like another example of outsiders judging an entire community through a narrow collection of negative headlines while overlooking the city's culture, music legacy, food, history, and the genuine passion of the people who live there. That is especially frustrating for Grizzlies supporters who continue filling the stands and backing their team despite all the challenges surrounding the city. At the same time, it would be impossible to tell this story honestly without acknowledging that the idea of relocating the Grizzlies did not originate with LeBron, and there is probably no reason to believe the discussion ends with him. The relocation debate probably won't disappear after LeBron. Nashville has repeatedly been mentioned as a potential future destination for an NBA franchise, largely because of its growing population, strong sports presence, existing facilities, and status as one of America's fastest expanding cities. Even Nashville's mayor became part of the conversation during the same news cycle, and when asked about the possibility of the Grizzlies moving there, he made it clear that he respects Memphis and believes the Grizzlies belong where they currently are. So there's an interesting twist here. Even the leadership of the city that could supposedly benefit from a Memphis relocation did not seem eager to make the situation more hostile. What makes this entire controversy especially interesting, and honestly much easier to understand once you strip away the celebrity factor, is that LeBron was ultimately describing something extremely human. He was talking about the exhaustion of repeating the same routine over and over, sleeping in anonymous hotel rooms, spending long stretches away from home, and having very little control over where you go or what your schedule looks like. Anyone who has worked a job involving constant travel can probably recognize at least part of that feeling, even if their version does not include private jets, millions of dollars, packed arenas, and reporters waiting for a comment. The obvious difference is that when an ordinary worker complains about a miserable business trip, nobody is standing nearby recording the conversation, waiting to clip it and turn it into a national sports story that dominates the internet for days. There is also a much bigger lesson here about the enormous influence athletes like LeBron possess in today's media ecosystem. A comment made during what was essentially a casual YouTube appearance, rather than a major nationally televised interview, suddenly became a story discussed across sports programs, local news broadcasts, and social media platforms for days. Coverage spread far beyond traditional basketball reporting and reached entertainment outlets, celebrity media, and general news audiences. The controversy pulled in active coaches, former athletes, government officials, sports executives, and even children giving their reactions during street interviews. That kind of reach is something very few people on Earth can realistically claim, and it demonstrates that once someone reaches LeBron James' level of fame, the idea of a harmless offhand comment almost disappears completely. Every sentence can be recorded, clipped, reposted, analyzed, criticized, and eventually transformed into a headline, regardless of what the speaker originally intended. So what happens from here? At this point, there is no clear indication that the Grizzlies are actually preparing to leave Memphis. For now, this remains a public debate rather than an official relocation process being pursued by the NBA or the franchise's ownership group. LeBron has made his personal feelings clear multiple times and has shown little interest in retracting what he said. Memphis, meanwhile, has responded with a combination of frustration, hometown pride, and, through Mayor Paul Young, an attempt to turn the criticism into an invitation to experience the city firsthand. Whether LeBron eventually accepts that invitation and visits Memphis the way the mayor would like is still something only time will reveal, but there is no denying that this controversy became much bigger than one superstar complaining about hotels and the grind of NBA road trips. It exposed bigger questions surrounding hometown pride, the power of modern media, the physical cost of professional sports travel, and the extraordinary ability one famous person's words can have to shape the way an entire city is discussed. Ultimately, LeBron James has never exactly built his reputation around hiding his opinions simply because they might create controversy, and this situation followed that same pattern. Whether you see his comments as nothing more than an honest description of how brutal NBA travel can feel, or you believe he went too far by entertaining the possibility of moving a franchise away from an entire community, there is one thing we can say with confidence. This conversation is probably going to stick around for a while. And the next time Memphis and Nashville appear together in an NBA relocation conversation, there is a very good chance people will remember the moment LeBron James turned a simple discussion about road trips into a much bigger national debate. Thanks for staying with me all the way through this breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, leave your opinion in the comments and tell us where you stand. Do you think LeBron was simply being honest about his experience, or do you believe he crossed the line and should apologize to Memphis?